So let's talk about the regulatory piece a little bit, Frank and Josh. Like how does that encourage or discourage threat actors? And then how does that impact the organizations working within these regulatory frameworks or regulatory environments?
I'll take a shot at just the just the introduction, and I think Josh will tell you all the nitty gritty of the insights. But the reality is, healthcare is one of the perhaps one of the most mature industries in terms of cybersecurity and data protection, data privacy regulation. Right? HIPAA was established a long time ago, and it has instilled a certain discipline in how to secure systems and how to protect data so that ultimately the patient, the sensitive data, the PHI, the healthcare information isn't inadvertently exposed and compromised. So the regulation is there and it establishes a really strong framework on what to do, how to do it, why to do it, and then ultimately even penalties on if you don't do it, right? Um, However, what it does, it puts a tremendous amount of strain on an organization to fulfill that regulation, to adhere to that regulation, and sometimes I don't know if it's fair to say, almost be distracted by that regulation versus focusing on things that may or may not have a much more tangible impact on mitigating their cyber risk. So it's a tough balance, but we have a number of examples. Josh is working one in particular with one healthcare organization now, where we're helping them really make sense of this balance.
So from a technical perspective, I do think regulation helps. I think what regulation helps to do is to force you as an organization to recognize the responsibilities you might otherwise not recognize that you have. Like we talked about before, hospitals, their primary role and responsibility is life preservation and medical treatment. Technology and a lot of organizations that aren't in the tech sector, that aren't dealing with, software and hardware and those sorts of things on a daily basis, they see technology more as an escalator and an optimization delivery mechanism to deliver the services that they're really trying to deliver. I think regulation forces you to come to terms with the fact that the things that you're employing to sort of escalate and deliver those services faster and better come with risks and responsibility that you might not otherwise understand that they do. So I don't think it's because anyone's just ignoring it. I think it's just not where their focus is. And I think it kind of has to be. And I think that's why things like HIPAA exist, is that there is inherent risk in employing, some of these technological solutions to addressing these problems. So I think regulation's good, not only because it forces you to do that, but then it forces people out there to come up with frameworks and methodologies and ways of quantifying, understanding, and addressing that risk effectively. And so I think that's really where we try to focus is that latter half of that is to say, this is where your risk is, but how do we really truly understand that, based on the threats that are out there today that are, always changing and growing and becoming more dangerous. And then how do we quantify that? How do we really put a targeted plan into place? Because you can't just go from 0 to 100% secure overnight. It just doesn't work that way. You have to put in some sort of a plan. You have to budget. You have to have a roadmap to increasing your security posture and fixing that risk that lives out there.